Hi, I'm in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and I wanted to ask, where's the old Smyrna? Well, I didn't really want to ask that question. I wanted to ask, what gives a nation the right to exist? And those may seem like two very different questions, one much heavier than the other, but they tie into each other. Old Smyrna is a city in modern Turkey called Izmir now, and the local people who named it Smyrna, the Greeks, no longer exist in any major facet of the city beyond the monuments and the historic ruins within it. Maybe the descendants of modern Izmir are ethnically Greek and hiding it. I don't know. That's a Greek nationalist conspiracy theory. But it doesn't change the fact that they're openly Turkish and they fly the Turkish flag. And the same goes for the native peoples of this region. The Timucuans and Miyaka no longer exist. Not in any capacity, anywhere at all. Their language is extinct, and it's been that way for over 200 years. And with that being said, those are the native peoples, the indigenous peoples, the founding peoples of those two lands. And yet they don't get those lands. They don't get to live on them. They don't get to have a nation within them. And that's why I'm asking, what gives a nation the right to exist? Behind me is a monument to the original Greek settlers of this city, along with the Menorcans and Sardinians who created the city of New Smyrna Beach, or at least New Smyrna at the time. And the sad thing is, even though they were fleeing persecution, they exacted their own persecution. Even if they weren't the ones who slaughtered the natives, they still took that land and participated in the annihilation of everything they once were. The Timucuans and the Miyaka, as stated previously, no longer exist. They were assimilated into the Seminole, and then the Seminole now are mostly assimilated into American society. The truth is, as proved by this story, with the destruction of the old Ionian Greeks in the city of Smyrna, and their ethnic cleansing, and the people of the Miyaka and the Timucuans who lived on this land over 200 years ago, there is no such thing as a right to exist. There's no such thing as a right to a nation. There's merely the ability to have one and the ability to defend it. And those who can't defend their nation's existence will not exist, because no matter any international law or any morally correct thing to do, people who want to do things and aren't being stopped from doing so will do them. They only give reasons to and justifications. For instance, places like Palestine and Israel, Ukraine and Russia, they dispute each other's existence as coherent entities. They call each other's histories wrong and falsified. That did not happen here. Or at least it hasn't mostly happened, because frankly, the only reason why it does get the chance to happen is those people aren't completely dead. They haven't completed their extermination. Here, in New Smyrna, the ancient native peoples, their extermination is complete. The reason why there's no debate over history is they don't have any history left to tell. They're gone. And that's the goal of all campaigns of extermination, is to have nobody left to dispute one's right to a nation. Nobody left to say, this is my land, not yours. And that's why many wars happen, and that's why ethnic cleansing exists. Nobody wants to admit they want to hurt their fellow man, but it still happens. It still happens a lot, in large capacity, and it's justified by history. They're using history to justify their destruction of history. And I can get on my soapbox and preach for hours about it, but I just wanted to document it here from New Smyrna Beach, Florida, that the ancient Miyaka and Timucuan people did exist, and so did the Smyrnan Greeks, even if they don't anymore.